Mic check. Oh man, that was a little too loud. Hold on. Excuse me. Where my distance? Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. All right, we're right here. Right here. What's up, everybody? It's your boy TGK here with another live stream where we're just gonna casually conversate. We're gonna review some interviews from your favorite Dallas Mavericks. What does he call himself? President or the owner of the Mavericks? I don't think he calls himself the owner anymore. Anyway, we're gonna review his quote-unquote appearance on First Take. I put the whole list of what the hell we're doing today. It's in I pinned the comment. So here we go. Yeah, there we go. Today, we're going to review the Jason Kidd presser. We're going to review the Kyrie Irving presser, the Mark Cuban First Take appearance. Then I saw the little piece of him making comments about Taylor Swift. We'll review that as well. I have a Jeremy Grant trade idea, which I feel like it is perfect. And then we'll review some training camp clips, any highlights that they have posted today. Again, I did my best as I could to not watch any of that. I've seen it, that it was posted. I know it's posted. I just made sure I didn't watch any of it. So everything that we're going to watch, that I'm going to watch today, the live react with you today, is all going to be my first time watching it. I just really wanted to get a genuine response so y'all could really see how I kind of view this stuff, but also so I could get your comments and your thoughts on it, whether you've seen it already or if you haven't. I just kind of like to look at things from the perspective of how I would want someone to make content versus, if I can't get it, I might as well make it, right? So I hope y'all enjoy this style of content as we're gearing up for the Dallas Mavericks season. It's closer than you think, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope y'all are excited about it. We definitely have a good team, and besides the pessimism, I guess, or the jadedness that we might have about our team, we do have a solid team, and it's just really cool to see the hype that we have, the attention we have garnered around our team. So again, appreciate y'all tuning in. Definitely leave a like as it helps, gets all the algorithming. I said it like I don't know what the hell that meant, but yeah, man. Yeah. So let's get into a couple of comments right here, and we'll get it started. Look, the reason I'm like gasping for I was eating the Sonic ice cream, and I didn't think it was gonna like do a number on me. So my bad, guys. Richard K says, "What's up, everybody? It's almost time." Yes, sir. We here, man. We here. Nancy says, "Hey, TGK, how are you doing tonight?" I'm doing good, actually. Very good today. I actually had to turn in my records to the Dallas County to expel a speeding charge, which I wasn't speeding, but whatever. I got it cleaned up. It took all day to get that cleaned up. Had to get it notarized and all that good stuff. That was fun. Nancy says, "Last night was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you. Excited for the new season to get started and see how the team blends together." Yes, that stream last night, I had a blast with that stream last night, and I appreciate y'all being on. Just kind of hanging out the whole time. And yeah, man, I'm excited to see how this team comes together, because that is going to be a big thing. Because with Luka and Kyrie, it just really comes down to chemistry as far as with all the other pieces that are around them at the end of the day. Hey, Ray, what's up? He said, "What's up, TGK? What's up, man? Good to see you." Richard K says, "Didn't know Cuban was on First Take. I didn't know he was going to be on there either. And the first thing that I saw was him, his comments about Taylor Swift. And that's when I knew I cannot watch this until I stream it tonight." Ray says, "Finally catch your show fresh." That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I'll be doing pregame shows for the Mavs for the preseason games. So October 5th, 10th, 20th, and whatever other date, I got you. We're going to be there. Nick says, what's good? What's good, Nick? Happy to see you here, man. He says, Nick says, "How many X's has Taylor Swift accumulated?" Not as many as Brittany Renner, put it like that. Nick says, "Cuban has turned woke. We need a new owner. Like the saying goes, everything woke turns to poop." Oh, no. Woke is like the new catchphrase, right? Lupita says, "Hello." Well, hello. All right, man. We're going to go ahead and get this rolling. I got the video up, I believe. And y'all will be able to see. Hold on, let me screen share. It's this one. There it goes. All right. Let's go ahead and make this. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. As you can see, I have not watched it. If I watched it, it would have shown that I've seen it, but I have not. So let's go ahead and let's start it from the jump.
Good to see you guys again, or most of you guys.
So this is
It's
the
honest.
Kyrie presser. We're going to live react to this,
I
guys.
won't go point by point, but no, I'm joking. It's good to see you guys.
Man, Kyrie got that morning voice. You can tell you just woke up. Ask a question, man. Ask Kyrie a question. Give me a mic or something. There it goes. Why am I doing this?
I think what I learned most about myself was just to stay patient through kind of the everyday hustle and bustle of, just trying to pick up my kids, my wife, and transition to a whole new city, uh, and just get acclimated with the team and be mature about it. Give myself some grace because it was a new experience. So I definitely learned a lot about my patience and how to communicate better with not just people I'm working with, but just overall in my life. It's not an easy task to handle this NBA life alone. I have a great support system, so I'm grateful I had them along that journey, and now we're here. So it's good.
Hey, Kyrie, can you take us
Your
through
response,
how you
Kyrie.
navigated the process of free agency this summer and, got to the conclusion where you're back here on the deal that you signed?
Yeah, it started with my agent Shatalia, also my stepmother, family-run business. So she has my best interests at heart. It wasn't too difficult of a process. Had Dallas as number one on my list. Obviously, I looked elsewhere at salary cap opportunities where I could fit in with other guys around the league, but there just wasn't much space. And me being 31 now, I had to have a different vantage point, and I felt like I could not just settle here, but be happy to come back here and be welcomed back with a warm embrace. So I took everything into account. I took my time a few days before free agency just to be with my family, gauge how they felt about being in Dallas alongside me, and everybody was excited. I mean, even when I got traded here midseason, a lot of my family was excited, and they were just looking forward to me having a peace of mind just on the court and off the court. I had already dealt with enough past season or the past 2 seasons, so they knew that I just wanted a lot of that off my back and off my shoulders of feeling like I had to be Superman or I had to be perfect. I just wanted to be myself, and been going on the last few years just figuring myself out. So I think this is the best place to do it and continue to mature and grow as a man.
Okay. Y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. Hold on. Skirt. Let me move this over here right quick. Y'all heard that, right? Okay. So he said he did go and look around. He looked at other salary caps, looked where he could fit in, I guess. But I guess that was cool to hear. I mean, the one point they say he said that he is 31 now and he has to look at it from a different vantage point. And I'm not one to like bash Kyrie for no reason at this point in juncture. Maybe when you don't have him on the team, you probably look at things differently. But ever since we've gotten him, there's no reason for me to criticize anything he has done, right? But with him saying, looking at it from his vantage point now and knowing that coming back here would be a great for him, man, that was good to hear, man. That was good to hear. And you can tell there's a complete difference between the responses we got from Luca last night as opposed to Kyrie. Kyrie gives you a little bit more, a little bit, insight into how he processed all these items. So that's pretty cool. And look at this head over here. Pause. This is Nick Angstead right here. I don't know if y'all see my mouse or cursor moving around. This is Nick Angstead, the Locked On Mavs host, man. Dope host right there. He is in the shot. Ain't that pretty cool? Look at that. One day you'll probably see we talk Mavs up here. Maybe Biz from Mavs Outsiders and Reese over here, and then maybe me up here. I might be front and center. You know what I'm saying? We might get a DDP up here too, and any somewhere around there, or even slightly biased. Pull us up there. You know what I'm saying? Like let's get all the content creators interviewing players. All right, man. Let's get back to the interview.
What was the thought process behind the structure of the deal? The 2+1, obviously leaving you some flexibility there.
Some friendly terms, yeah. And then I wanted everything that was structured in my contract, incentive-wise, to be based on production, and that was it. Wins and how many games I'm playing. You know, I hear all the noise. So I just wanted to make sure that I had some friendly terms, but also some realistic expectations for myself going into the season. Looking to just play as many games as possible. Obviously, it's a long season. We want to peak at the right time. Training staff here is really smart, really experienced. They've had different guys coming through the organization where they've had to be aware of their previous injury history, and we just take it easy, but also the onus is being prepared for every single game. So I appreciate that accountability and them giving me my space to just grow and figure out myself as I get older and enjoy this prime of mine. You know, it's I have a different body now coming into my 30s. I have to take care of it differently than I did in my 20s. I can't just get up and roll out of bed and just not stretch or do anything to activate my body or warm up. So it's been an adjustment, but I'm having fun, and to be able to do it with this veteran group, veteran coaching staff as well, it helps out a lot.
Something that Nico and Jason both said after the season was that they feel very strongly that you and Luka do work well together and will in the future. And really the onus was on the organization to build around you guys. What do you think of the moves that were made, early impressions, and maybe specifically how you guys might be better than you were at the tail end of last year?
I'm happy about the moves. No hard criticism from me. They asked me what I thought throughout the summertime. Even in our closing meetings, they just asked me questions, trying to gauge who I wanted to play with and who I saw in the market, and who in this next free agency class and next couple free agency classes will be available. It's pretty interesting. So I was looking towards the future while also being aware that it takes time to build a great team. It takes time to build chemistry. And with me and Luka, we're so skilled. He makes the game so easy for everyone around him. I think we got a lot of open shots last year because of how much attention he garnered. And for me, I was just coming in and trying to alleviate some of that pressure. A few times, I think we were being too passive with one another. We're both killers on the court. Everybody knows it. We want to win. So we just have to continue to have that consistent mentality together and lead the team as best we can alongside other guys that have experience in this league or young guys that we have to coach even more so. So it's all been a learning experience. It was so quick last year, and there was so much pressure on us to win now, win big. And it's Luka and Kyrie. Why can't you guys win games? So we were answering a lot of questions that honestly, I don't think we were ready for. And health is everything in this league. So us not being 100% and going through last season and trying to do the best we could mentally and emotionally and physically, I got to give ourselves some grace and some credit. We made it through. We've had almost 6 months off, at least some of us. Luka's been playing in the World Cup, Josh playing in the World Cup, Dwight. So guys have been playing, but I think more or less I'm looking forward to starting from day one like we're doing now. And we have the pieces out there. We have some young guys that are incredibly active. We drafted well. And just to be included in that process felt good. Just being asked questions on what I thought and how our pieces would fit around, but also I'm not the centralized focused. So
was Grant.
Dang, hold on. Salute to the front office for including Kyrie in those conversations. That's dope. That's good to see. It's good to hear. Again, Kyrie's responses in his press conferences are quite refreshing in comparison to our other star. Luka doesn't give us much sometimes, so it's cool to hear more from Kyrie to give you a little bit more insight. And I think that that's awesome by the front office to include him. As you saw where he was talking about looking at free agency in the next couple of seasons to see who's available. And he kind of gave you that smile like it's going to be interesting. I think you already know what he's alluding to. And if you don't know what he's alluding to, he's probably talking about LeBron. But that's cool, man. That's cool to see. Let me answer a couple of questions here. Nick says, over under Kyrie averaging 25 points per game. I'm going to say right over. I'm going to say like 25.8, 25.9. I mean, he could probably get 26, 27 in this league easy, but I would think that if he gets 26, 27, he's going to have to play over like 34, 35 minutes a night, and I don't want him playing that much. So I'm going to say like 25, best case scenario, slightly above 25. That'd be best. That'd be ideal. Div, what's up, Div? He says, hi, TGK. Kai is awesome because he's unvaxxed like me. Love him. Stood his ground. you know, you know, thankfully he was able to stand his ground. I responded in there and I said I couldn't because the job at the time forced me to. But you know, I'm all right. He's all right. So we're all right, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dib, pure blood. All right, let me see what else is on here to talk about. Richard K says that you turn the woke. Cuban has always been woke. Yeah, he has, but he is helping people with the drug store or the drug online store that he has. That has helped people, so that's good. Div says, Teacher Guy, I'm shocked that Kai actually wants to be second to Luca. That is surprising to me. Maybe that is why Cuban has been going around saying what he has been saying. Kai might want to be a leader. Yeah, that is again. He the fact that he's saying he's aware of his age, that already tells you he's kind of, how would I put it? And I can only compare from how I used to think when I was younger versus now when I'm playing basketball. When I was playing basketball in my 20s, man, I wanted every single shot, hero ball. And now that I've gotten older, I like to facilitate and go and score a bucket when I need to or when the team needs it. You know what I'm saying? Um, and more like influence and keep people's spirits up on, just pickup games. I know they're pickup games, but to us it's our NBA game. So I think for him, he's maybe looking at it from like, I just want to be a leader and help these guys win. I have been a champion. I have made a big time game winning bucket. And a lot of the time to be successful is you kind of got to put your ego a little bit to the side for the greater good of the team, right? And I think that's where Kyrie's at. And if Kyrie is there, bro, if Kyrie's mental is there for us to be locked in like that for us, the sky's the limit, man. The sky's the limit with someone like him. There's a TGK and just not the top scorer. Yeah, he's not going to be the top scorer for us. I mean, he's going to be a deadly asset that also could be a somewhat of a decoy to even help someone else, like a Hardy, like a Grant Williams. He's going to open him so many shots by the attention he could get, or if he's just left open, he's going to knock down a lot of shots. And not to say that Luka should be the main one running all the offense. It's just Kyrie is going to help so much, and that's going to be crazy, man. Nick says that in my 20 plus years of being an NBA fan, nothing would satisfy me more than seeing Kyrie win an NBA title with the Mavs. That would be crazy. Imagine the narratives. Imagine how ESPN and the East Coast biased media is going to have to eat that up. Imagine how the LA media and West Coast media is going to have to eat that up. That would be like the Dallas Cowboys making the Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying? Like, it'd just be front news everywhere. They'll be like, "Oh, Kyrie and Luka finally win a championship together. Can they go back to back?" They'll change the narrative and they'll be like, "Oh, this team should win 3 in a row now." Like, bro, they got one, eat it up. Y'all didn't want this man to win. Take it for what it is. Mainly because on how they tried to coerce him from taking the the jab. Yeah. Richard K says, yeah, he got a nephew, and I think a son, might be wrong with son, but his nephew is buck wild. Okay, here we go. Div says, TGK, did you hear that we could have had Ayton for Holmes and trash can juice? We said no, maybe they believe in Lively is ready. All right, so there's a lot of discourse on X or Twitter. You got other, content creators like myself saying they're anti-Ayton, that the Ayton deal was not legit. You got other content creators that are saying that, we needed an Ayton to give Lively the time to develop. I was in that camp to get Ayton to give Lively that time to develop, but also win now. If that deal was on the table, I would have taken it for sure. But we didn't. And so is Lively going to be ready? I hope so. I hope there's a path to get him ready as much as possible, but it's going to be extremely, extremely like unrealistic for us to have these kind of expectations on Lively right now. But I do think he could be serviceable in the aspect that he could get more rebounds than Dwight. He could deter shots way better than Dwight. And anything that is an improvement on Dwight is it a mass improvement on the team. And I think with that, you're good enough, man. Again, you're gonna have a Kyrie and Luka training camp together with a new team, with new players, a better roster. And I think if you get better play from the center position, this team that was like close to being top 3, top 4 in the West without having a Kyrie, before the trade. Imagine once they're all firing on all cylinders, they got a better defensive scheme and they got a better center play. I think they'll be a lot better this coming season. Rich K says Flat has been around if he has had. Flat has been around if he has his head on right, he could be a great leader, but that is a question. I believe in Kyrie this season for sure. I believe in Kyrie. TJ, Kyrie winning the title with the Mavs at the level of a certain someone from 2016 winning the. All right, man. Y'all really on one tonight, man. Y'all really on one tonight. Div says, TJ, I really, really hope that the Suns go through injuries like crazy and we'll have a disaster year. I hate no other team more than the Suns right now. Booker is annoying. I'm glad. Not the injuries part. Glad you say that. I'm just glad you mentioned it because you look at Nurkic. He has a massive injury history. KD lately has had an injury bug. Booker, he has these hamstring issues. And Beal, he hasn't really been healthy in the last couple of years. Maybe this is going to be the most healthy he has been. But all of their top 4, they all have injury history, injury issues. And for them to be successful, they need all of them to be healthy. So yeah, man. Again, y'all let me know if y'all enjoy this reviewing these interviews live with y'all. This is something I could keep on doing. I do enjoy this because we can live react to it. Let me know if there's something y'all like, and we'll keep it going, man. So let's keep the Kyrie Irving practice press conference going.
Williams, one of the guys that you mentioned or that was talked about with you?
Grant was one of those guys that I mentioned. He was a big piece in those Boston series when we were playing in Brooklyn. He really made it difficult on us. He wasn't the only one, obviously, but he was doing the intangibles out there, and I think he was looking for a bigger role somewhere else. And I can't knock a guy for wanting to try more and be more in this league. So coming here and getting the deal that he did, I was proud of him, but also I knew that the work was still ahead of us.
Kyrie, you grew up in New Jersey. When you was 9 years old, Jason Kidd got traded to the New Jersey Nets, and you became one of his favorite players. I mean, he became one of your favorite players. Yeah. Could 9-year-old Kyrie envision this day that one day you be playing for Jason Kidd?
Oh man, no, I don't think I could have ever imagined it this way. And this is beautiful, honestly, because I could reflect on this journey and say I was that 9-year-old kid looking up to J Kidd, leading the New Jersey Nets to those finals. We have the same birthday. We share the same birthday. We have had, similar relationships that have connected us for life. I was at his Hall of Fame induction. I happened to be sitting next to Dirk as well. So I don't believe in coincidences. And when I was there, I felt that I didn't know what the future held at that point, but I knew I had mentors that I could always lean in on. And that was J Kidd. He was one of them. He always said I could call him, always pick his brain. And even when we had a vacancy in Brooklyn, I wanted to see if he could come and coach us, be another Brooklyn head coach. But I think I'm more or less excited about the off the court aspect and him teaching me how to be a better man and be underneath that type of coaching tutelage. It goes a long way for young guys like me. Life after basketball is important, but we want to enjoy what we're doing here every single day. And he just brings a natural ease. His energy is easygoing. He's going to hold you accountable, and he's brutally honest, which I appreciate. And he's got to be your guy to have that loyalty. So being in here in this locker room and going through training camp for the first few days from day one, felt like I was just telling one of our guys in there, I wish I would have got drafted by Dallas initially. Obviously they weren't in position in 2011, but just feeling how this organization wraps their arms around the guys. And I had some of that feeling and sentiment in other places, but you can just feel there was a difference here when I started from day one, and these guys really wanted me to be here. So
when you were watching.
Damn, that's dope. See, all right, so you know how we hear all those narratives about how Dallas can't get a Super Bowl. That too. We can't get a Super Bowl, but Dallas can't get a superstar. Kyrie being here is going to help that narrative for the Mavericks long term moving forward, as long as it is a successful partnership with Kyrie here. Him also talking about Grant and how Grant wanted a bigger role, and he got his money and he ended up coming here and he's happy for him and he acknowledges what he was able to do in Boston. That's also dope because again, there's that respect there that that this guy will show up in big games. So you got Luka that vibes with Grant, you got Kyrie that vibes with Grant. Grant's gonna be one of the most underrated additions to the team. That's just gonna during the season we're gonna be like, damn, we got Grant for what? For Reggie Bullock and that's it. Like it's gonna be like that, and we're gonna be really impressed with what Grant can do. I'm not saying he's gonna average 16 points per game. I'm just gonna say that what he is gonna be able to do is gonna impact the game, doing the small things, the big things, the clutch things. That is what he's gonna be able to impact defensively. Crucial key rebounds, crucial key stops, steals, good assists, shot making. He's gonna be able to do that, and to have someone reliable like that paired up with a Luka and Kyrie, it is massive, massive, massive. So, and that's good to hear that Kyrie is just giving the Mavericks organization praise. Now, saying he wish he would have been drafted, that's a bit of a drafted bias in 2011. Obviously, we were not in position to get him, but yeah, it's kind of a crazy take to say, but I appreciate it. I actually do. I do appreciate that. I don't know whether he meant it, but I appreciate it.
And as a kid, did you steal some of his moves that you're using now today?
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't really have as much wiggle as I do, or shiftiness, or he'll tell you himself, or even the mid-range pull-up. I feel like I'm a healthy mix of some of my mentors, and they'll tell you themselves. I studied his game front to back, all his years of being a young guy in the league, and then also being, Jay Kidd in New York City, where he became just a knockdown 3-point shooter and a great leader on the bench. But I just appreciate all parts of his journey, and just want to be as successful as him.
Kyrie, how are you physically to start this season? And along those same lines, how are you approaching this unique training camp with this international travel and a lot of trips over the next 12 days? It's great that you have this time for a full camp, but it's a different kind of one, I'm sure. What's the importance of a good start here with all that being said?
Physically, I'm great. I'm taking my time into this training camp. It's my 13th season, so I've been through a few training camps, and my focus this year, or my approach, is just to focus on being prepared and healthy and peaking at the right time. Coming into every season, you want to start right away, hot, just do everything the right way. But it's impossible to be perfect at the beginning of the season. We have a new group. We have some things to still figure out, so we got to give each other grace for that. But outside of that, it's been fun to think about going to Abu Dhabi, going to Madrid, having an opportunity to play in front of an international community that support the game of basketball, and just grow over there as a team, build camaraderie. And this is what I was talking about last year when we got to get out and get to know one another on different planes, different environments. I feel like we get a chance to do that overseas. It is a quick training camp, but we can't make an excuse for that. We just got to put in our 2-a-days and continue to get in better shape. And that's what this preseason is about. Short amount of days, a lot of work in those short days, but we'll get some rest on the back end when we come back home. But these next 2 weeks will have its ups and downs. But I just want to go into these games with a clear mentality that we just want to win, and we just want to continue to get better and dive deeper into the relationships that are going to matter for us later down in the season.
Cool. I love that response. I do remember him saying, Kyrie, I do remember him saying how them hanging out outside of basketball was going to be key. And, he acknowledged that these kind of trips are going to be, beneficial to what he was talking about, how them, building that camaraderie and chemistry. So that's dope. I didn't think of it from that perspective when I heard of these games. I didn't think of like, oh, this could be great, team building, team bonding kind of trips, but it is. It's going to be a good one for them, and I'm glad that he's looking at it from that perspective. That definitely helps, because imagine you're going to Abu Dhabi with your teammates, right? There's going to be something that all of y'all bond over, whether it's the flight over there. It's almost 12-hour flight or a 19-hour flight. I forgot what it was. You're in a whole different country, so you kind of only have each other to experience these countries necessarily. I'm pretty sure Luka's gonna be so enthusiastic being in Madrid and showing his teammates everything that he grew up around. So this is gonna be a really, I think it's gonna be really impactful to how the team's chemistry is gonna be, and kind of how Nancy said earlier, and how they blend, how it all blends together. And I think this is a big piece to that. And not to undermine preseason, but I mean, judging by what Kyrie said, that definitely sounds like it's gonna mean quite a bit. Ray says, TGK, I can't wait to throw back the narratives to the Suns fans when A numbers explode in Portland because he can have as many touches as he can. And as long as he's efficient, as long as the Portland Trailblazers look like a decent team, then the Suns are gonna be embarrassed by that move. I wouldn't have trading Ain for Nurkic is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Ray said, like they did when KP and JB had good numbers in other teams. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. But again, they're the ones that got blown out in game 7 by 40. So by 50, 40, whatever, they really can't talk, man. At the end of the day, they got to beat us in a playoff series before they can talk to us. Nick says, I think Kyrie meant it 100% that he wished the Mavs drafted him. I think him spending a good amount of time in Texas opened his eyes. That's another good point too. Because Texas is a little bit different, especially Dallas. Dallas is a different kind of city. Where it's a mixture of everything. You got a mixture of conservatism. You got a mixture of progressiveness, right? You got a mixture of everything. It's a little bit of Austin. It's a little bit of San Antonio. It's a little bit of Houston. It's a little bit of country. It's a little bit of everything in Dallas. It's really a melting pot. But at the end of the day, when you're in Dallas, you really just care about, making your ends, making your money, getting your bag, taking care of your business, and enjoying the things that you enjoy. And what we enjoy down here is watching good sports, man. We got so many sports bars up here that I don't know if all of y'all are from here, but Texas Live is where it's at, man. What a great sports bar over there. But we just want to see the Mavericks and Cowboys win. We don't care about the majority of off the court stuff. We're really not too crazy about that. We just want y'all to win. I mean, hell, the Cowboys. Remember when the 90s, what they were doing, the cocaine Cowboys? No one cared what they did. They were winning. That's what they cared. Now, if they do something really out of line, like, there's a line, and then there's a one that's out of it, yeah, then at that point, we don't need you on the team. But none of these guys are criminals and felony artists. So, yeah, I think he enjoys it here because he says the country is polarized. New York and Dallas are like two different countries right now. True. Dallas is a little bit of a copycat city of New York in a way, as far as how they build the city out. Nick, I don't know if you're from Dallas, but the Dallas is kind of like they're influenced by like New York architecture in a way, how they want to build these parks in the middle of the city. So they're a little bit like New York in a way, but definitely a different climate and culture in a way. Kyrie realized that. Yeah, Dallas. I think Dallas is better for Kyrie. It's a lot more relaxed than New York is. 1,000%. Dev says, I'm telling you, if Giannis does not sign with the Bucks now after this trade, damn, it would be crazy in the Bucks organization. Scary times. He could be gone after this season. And again, Dame got 4 years left. Giannis got 2+1. If he doesn't extend with them, he plays these next 2 seasons. He sees that Dame has hit a cliff, as Max Kellerman would say. Then Giannis might not re-up on that 3rd season, and that's when he's gettable. That's when you could go get a Giannis. Knight says, Kai and Luka or Damon Freak. Who you got? Kyrie better than Dame. Luka. I think Luka has a better head-to-head record against Giannis. Give me Kai and Luka, bro. Kai and Luka. But Dame and Giannis is all right. I think Dame and Giannis right now, they have a better pathway to playing better off of each other, as opposed to Kyrie and Luka, which they still have to figure out what that is going to look like. So Dame and Giannis won't have too much of that, how would I say, that grace period to learn how to play off of each other, where Kyrie and Luka still have to develop that because their roles are kind of similar. They just have different body types. So Dame and Freak would have a a quicker identity between the two versus Kyrie and Luka. But once Kyrie and Luka figure that out, ain't nothing nobody could do. Nothing. What are the chances that Embiid becomes a Maverick next year? Probably like 0.01%. I think they're low, but if he's asking out, I just don't know if we're gonna have the package to get him. You get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a package to get Embiid, and I don't think we got it. Pause. Nancy says the media is crazy in New York. They're more about the drama and attack on the players. Yeah, that is New York for you. That is New York for you. And it's sad that New York. I mean, and you gotta give them credit. The New York fans are hardcore fans, but the New York media, they're tabloid, they're crazy, they're aggressive. Like they do lack a little bit of professionalism in the way they cover their teams. That's why I be crucial of our media people, the way they cover our team. Because at the end of the day, I want, yes, they're players, yes, they're people, but at least give the decency to give them the right questions. And if they're gonna be harsh questions, lace them in professionalism. You get what I'm saying? Instead of being disrespectful or rude as New York media is. Nick said, "Did you say cocaine cow?" Yeah, I did, man. I did. Well, I didn't get to enjoy the '90s Super Bowl, so I've never seen a Cowboy Super Bowl ever. Nick says, "And yes, TGK, I'm from DFW area. I've been a Mavs fan since 2003. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You know our pain. You know our pain." Nick says, "Dame Freak better combo because of the offensive defense dynamic. That too. 100%." Rich K said, "Let's get it right. Flat Earther, the Green Ranger, the Dawn, working on the red." What's gonna be Derek Lively and Maxence Prosper? What's his gonna be? Olivier Maxence Prosper. All right, man. Let's get back to this interview. I noticed we're almost on an hour, so either we're gonna have to skim through Jason Kidd's interview, or let's get through Kyrie's as fast as possible because we still got Mark Cuban.
You played with Seth for a year. How do you feel about what he's going to bring to this team and his obvious assets and how they'll fit in?
I'm excited. I'm excited. He's an incredible shooter. He's an incredible leader to have in the locker room as well. He has experience, and he brings some diversity to that point guard role that we have on this team. And it's going to be interesting to see him out there with Luka and myself and Luka at times, but also running that second unit and coming in and filling in for our shooters. He really sets the tone. He has a great work ethic, and just looking forward to continuing to work with him.
Okay.
Kyrie, you streamed early on when Luka was playing friendlies, like watching his film. What did you see while he was playing with Slovenia? Like, he was utilizing some different ways, like off the ball and some actions out of the corner, like zoom actions, double wide pin downs. What did you see from that you could be like looking forward to with, coming back to the Mavericks, playing with him as you?
All right. If y'all don't know who Grant Afseth is, that is a Grant Afseth question. Look at this. Basketball double down pin downs. Grant Afseth knows his stuff, bro. There is terminology that he definitely knows his basketball. And when he says, zoom action and double pin downs. So a pin down is in basketball as an off-ball screen, also known as a down screen or a baseline screen set by an offensive player to free up a teammate for an open shot or driving lane. The screener positions themselves close or along the baseline between a defender and another offensive player, allowing the latter to move up the court and receive the ball from the ball handler. All right, man, I could show y'all what these plays look like, but off the top of my head, I know what he's talking about. Luka coming off baseline, coming up with the pin downs, right? Now, that is a Grant Afseth question. He's digging into the mind of Kyrie on, like, all right, what do you think about these play calls? How would you utilize these in these kind of actions? Great questions. Grant always has great questions. It's always going to open up an open-ended answer from Kyrie. Salute to Grant, man. Great question. Let's get it going.
Build on your continuity with each other.
Yeah, well, Luka already makes the game look easier here in the States, but when he plays for Slovenia, it's like he goes Super Saiyan mode. He goes ballistic, and you can see how close his teammates are, or how close they are as a team. And they've built some equity with each other, just going through that process of trying to make the Olympics, playing in the World Cup, and Luka's a big part of that country's success. So you have to give him credit just to be that young and to garner that much attention already, offensively and defensively. It's impressive to see him go through. I just wanted him to stay healthy. I was texting him every once in a while, just reminding him that me and Dirk have gotten World Cup MVPs. We're just waiting for him to get his. Eventually he will get it. But just, trying to give him some motivation while he's over there. It's a grind. It's a sacrifice to be away from your family. And you could see in some of their interviews, I was watching some of their interviews off stream of the Slovenian players, and tears rolling down their eyes. You can see how passionate they are. So again, the closeness of that group, you can see Luka's being himself. And, while he's here, we just want to create that same environment. And I know Dallas has done that. And that's what I'm focused on, is just keeping him happy and working on, the little things that we could get better at as a duo and leaders of this team, and just down the stretch, how we trust each other a little bit more. He's incredibly talented. I'm incredibly talented. We put a lot of work into this game of ours that we love. So I want to see him be successful. And if he's successful, then our team is successful. So we just continue to play that position here as a veteran and continue to be mature about the role that I'm here to fulfill, and just be real with him. That's been the fun part of just, you have somebody that's skilled that young. It reminds me of some other guys that I've been around throughout the league. You could see that his trajectory is there. He has the potential. And now we just want to put it together with a full team successful season.
Hey, Sorry.
All right, so he really didn't talk about the pin downs or the zoom action, but I like the fact that he pointed to what meant a lot to Luka, and that's Slovenia. Whether us fans are happy that he plays or not. Again, us fans, we're just looking at it from him being healthy from that perspective. But Kyrie's looking at it from, that matters to him, and instead of what actions he plays over there, that he was just showing appreciation that how much he cared about being over there. And salute to him bringing up Dirk. That was pretty funny. I know Nick's comment, he said, shout out to Kyrie for giving Dirk some love. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That you gotta get your MVP too. We waiting. But no, so salute to Kyrie. That was a dope answer. And again, Grant Absett. I'm glad he gets to ask questions, because he has really good questions, man. And yeah, glad he's reporting for our team. Let's get back to the interview.
Hey, Kyrie, first of all, welcome back. You talked about free agency with organizations and coming back to Dallas. You were also a free agent with Shoe Deal. Just talk about the process of joining Anta, not only as a player, but also as an executive and creative.
Oh, I think that's Landon. Landon Thomas. He's also another reporter. He's a solid reporter too. So that's a good question to ask him about the creative behind his new shoe deal. So now he's about to give you some insight on that. These are some good questions, man.
Thank you, man. It felt a little surreal this summer, being able to negotiate a shoe deal of the magnitude that I have, and alongside my all-leaving management team. They really emphasized me having creative control and being broadcasted to more of an international community, and having direction in that, and being able to come to the table and discuss that with the executives over there. There definitely is a language barrier. There are definitely things to be aware of politically. But also, I think the importance for me was being able to put clothes on my family's back, putting clothes on my community's back, putting shoes on their feet, and being able to make a bigger impact with my platform after basketball. I have less years playing than I do more years playing. I'm aware of that. But I think the fun part is being able to jump into that entrepreneurial lane and prepare myself for life after basketball my way. So this is just a step in that direction, that process. And it's been amazing to see the attention that it's getting. But my focus right now is just building the best team at Anta, making sure our designs and our technology match what we're saying, and making sure the production and distribution also matches what we're saying. So it's a new business here in America. I'm building something new here, and I'm competing with some of the biggest brands in the world. We all know who they are. We all know they have some of the best players and best athletes and best artists. But that's where I feel like my CCO role at Anta is key, because I can sign other artists, I can sign other athletes, I could basically sign my peers and also negotiate favorable terms that I know the industry is not offering anybody else. So, and the big smile on my face is because of that. You know, reading contracts, understanding contracts, bringing in attorneys, bringing in the lawyers, it's all new process for me. So I had an amazing time learning throughout that, and where I made mistakes when I was 18, 19, signing contracts that I didn't read thoroughly. And, you know, this is just a big stepping stone for me to teach at the same time, you know, while I'm going through the process, because I don't want any of these young kids to feel like they have to sign with these other brands because they offer apparel or they offer shoes. You know, outside of that, if you want to talk about generational wealth, you got to go deep into the details. And that's what I did this summer, signing with Anta. So it was just bigger than just a shoe deal. That's why I had the hashtag. So literally just focused on establishing myself as a businessman and knowing I have entrepreneurial lane outside of this game.
Dope
Hey,
answer.
Kai,
Nothing to add to that.
outside of
Last question.
basketball, over here, sorry. Outside of basketball, what was Kyrie's summer like? Kind of some leisure activities that just got you up in the morning?
I have 3 kids, so that was enough for me to be in the house every day in the summer, and them jumping on me and you know, trying to get me up. I have 2 under 2 still. My son Elohim turns 1 in Dubai, or in Abu Dhabi, on the 4th coming up. So what an exciting time for them. He's waking up at 6 a.m. He's jumping on me. He still sleeps in our bed. And then Kai, he's 2. He just completely runs my household. And then my daughter Azori, she is independent 100%, but also loves one-on-one time with daddy. So I make it an emphasis in the summer, especially this long summer that we had, to establish better relationship time with them and create a resourceful lifestyle where they can be a part of my life in the season too, where it didn't feel like such a drag or feel like so much pressure on me. Human, I miss my kids. So that's what the summer was really looking like, was just being a dad and giving myself grace to heal. And I felt like I was playing injured throughout the last few games in the season, doing my best to hide it, just like we all hide injuries. But outside of that, those 2 things of being daddy or being a hooper, was just being a businessman and learning more about international communities and politics, man. It's a heck of a thing. So.
What?
All right, cool. I think I'm gonna pass on J Kidd. The reason being is because J Kidd is always he's not gonna give you much, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, J Kidd's not gonna give you much. But I'll listen to it on the back end. That way I don't run too long and miss out on going over the Mark Cuban stuff and the Jeremy Grant trade idea that I got in mind. But wanted to respond to some comments. Nick Knight says, I was about to say Nick Triker, Night Triker. New York has COVID restrictions. It's basically a police state. Kai doesn't have to worry about that in Dallas, but fans should go after a player who stands up to tyranny. Hey, you said it better than I could have said that. But no, New York is. I mean, they got so many people over there. I know they gotta figure things out to do it better, and I don't think they do it as best as possible. Lyles, what's up, Lyles? What's good, man? He said, what's good, TGK? Immaculate vibes right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Richard K says that Michael Irvin could blow by do a line with a cheerleader and still catch that ball, then talk ish all the way back. I vaguely remember those days. I vaguely remember them, but I know Michael Irvin was him. Nick says, shout out Kyrie for giving Dirk some love. Yep. And then Div says, TGK, I gotta tell you, Kai is super smart and working a room. Very, very underrated aspect to Kyrie Irving's ability to just kind of, talk and the way he navigates it. So it's a skill, as they say. That is a skill. You know what I'm saying? All right. So as you can see here on my screen, look right here. Hold on. Bam. You see on the right side over here, the Mavericks owner reveals his expectations. I have not seen this video. I've been waiting to go over this with y'all. Again, the how would I say, my what was it? My itinerary of today's video was Kyrie Irving's review of his presser. We're not going to do Jason Kidd, so we're moving on to Mark Cuban. And then the Taylor Swift comments. So these two things are going to be done simultaneously. And then we'll get into my Jeremy Grant trade idea and then any training camp footage. If you haven't liked the video, if you haven't liked this live, man, definitely leave a like. It helps a lot. If you haven't subscribed and you're into this kind of content, definitely subscribe. It means a lot to me. It helps the channel grow, as we're growing little by little, man. Appreciate y'all spending that time here with me. That's ridiculous. All right. So who on the Mavericks could is he referring to? By judging Mavs Twitter, a lot of the Mavs fans, girlies, the women on Mavs Twitter, they I think the how would I say, the consensus pick is normally Maxi Kleber or Tim Hardaway Jr. I just don't know if they have enough star power for Taylor Swift, but I think that would be their pick. All right, let's see what else Mark Cuban talks about here.
On a Friday and Saturday, we found role on General Hospital.
You know the script. You're just
yeah, not interested in that.
a hair product for men that act.
We'll work on it. I have a feeling you'll be getting some.
There's more Shark Tank stuff, which I have of no interest in Shark Tank. So, Richard, you said Josh and Taylor Swift. All right. When I first saw the Taylor Swift comments by Mark Cuban, I was a little bit uncomfortable. It felt a little cringe, but seeing it in that aspect, I felt a little bit better about it because it did feel jokey. It did feel like a lighthearted joke. And I saw Kelsey respond to it, asking Mark Cuban to give him a 10-day contract. So I guess technically Mark Cuban will get his wish, having a Maverick dating a Taylor Swift. So that was funny. But Josh Green and Taylor Swift? Hold on. That Oxy accent will seal the I guess so, man. I guess so. All right. So I have an idea when it comes to Jeremy Grant. We're moving on to the next item on the itinerary here. So this is this Jeremy Grant trade idea, which I want y'all to take a look at, man. All right. So earlier today, I forgot who reported it, but they basically said that Jeremy Grant is also a potential trade piece. So, because I know there was a lot of conversation ad nauseum about a Drew Holiday to the Mavs. So here, Jeremy Grant makes $27 million, and it obviously increases year after year, but it is currently a better deal than Drew Holiday. Now, if the Blazers were to do this, I would offer Tim Hardaway Jr. I would also offer Maxi Kleber. Now, I did not do this prior, right? I did not do this prior, but the salaries will match. Now, if I'm the Mavericks, I would try to send it with these two second round picks. That's what I would try to rely on. Be like, hey, Maxi Kleber and Tim Hardaway and 2 seconds. Like, will that be enough, right? Let's say they're like, yeah, all right, we'll take that deal. And I'm pretty sure they won't. They probably want it first. It failed. Why did it fail? Because, does it say Jeremy Grant cannot be traded until January 15th because he resigned with FirstTake with a 20% raise and the Trailblazers over the cap. Jeremy Grant cannot be traded 3 months prior. So he can't be traded until October 7th. Is there a way to remove the thing? Well, I think the trade would work in theory. I don't know if there's settings that I could let's see. Recently signed. There we go. Let's try it again. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try, because I think it'll work. Recently traded. Okay. Well, darn it. What is it saying down here? Jeremy Grant inquiry. So they're over the salary cap. Okay, so since they're over the salary cap, let's see if they got a $1 million player they could send in return somewhere. Kelvin Bevins, right? I don't think the Blazers need him. They send us back Jeremy Grant and Kelvin Bevins. failed. Why? It is currently listed as a cap hold for the Blazers this season. Placeholder for pending free agents unsigned. All right, they say. Man, I'm trying to prove a point here, guys. God, cap holes include cap holes when under the cap. I don't like this. I don't like this. Let's go ahead and remove. Where's Bivens? Y'all get what I'm trying to do, right? I'm just trying to get this deal to go through. Where's another? Let's go. No, they like Jabari Walker, Chris Murray. Let's just go. All right, for ish and giggles, they just put Jabari Walker in there, but it'll be Bivens, okay? It'll be Bivens. This trade would work, should work in theory. What the hell? All right, let's remove bird rights because if it's October 7th, it's not going to impact anything. I just wanted to say success. There it goes. All right. So say you got Bivens and all that stuff. Ideally, I think this trade would work. I would hope it work, but I think Tim Hardaway and Maxi Kleber combined is a Jeremy Grant, but a little bit better. I think Jeremy Grant would be something that that would help the Dallas Mavericks quite a bit. I think it would help us a lot. I think instead of getting a Drew Holiday, you get a Grant, a Jeremy Grant. Your team's a lot better, bro. I'm not here to sugarcoat it or lie, but I've been a Jeremy Grant fan, and I think a Tim Hardaway Jr. and Maxi Kleber for Jeremy Grant, you allow Steph Curry and Jaden Hardy to assume that 6-man role in a combo version, and then you also have your 4 that could also play small ball 5, along with Grant Williams, along with Derek Lively and Rashawn Holmes. So this deal, I think in theory, would work. Again, they won't give us Jabari Walker, but just assume it's another player around $1 million to $2 million just to make the cap stuff work. But I think this is something that could work. Well, what y'all think, man? I want to hear y'all's thoughts on that. I know there's a lot of opinions on Drew Holiday. I just think Jeremy Grant is going to be better. He's younger, better contract, and he could impact what we need right now, which is another wing defender that can shoot threes and actually go get his own bucket. He can go get his own bucket. Nick says Josh will be Taylor's 30th X and count it. Richard Case, I'll take Kelsey as center, but I bet he can rebound. I bet so too. Kelsey will probably be the strongest Maverick. Yeah, he'll be stronger than Dwight Powell. Yeah, Kelsey at center would be nice. But I think like 6'7". Bro, probably Luka stronger than Kelsey. Maybe. You probably can't lift more than him, but that'd be interesting. All right, let me stop, man. He's a football player. He'll get washed by Luka. Richard says, TGK, the one thing I had to agree with Nick on, TGK, those seconds are for the trade deadline deals if needed. Would you be willing to give a first? Orange Juice, what's up? What's up? Got to remove bird rights. Yeah, I removed it. I mean, I think October 7th, you'd be able to deal him, and that's probably when I would try to get that deal done. Nancy, so why are they looking to trade Grant after they just re-signed him? Great question. Let me see if I could find that article. Hold on. Blazers. There was talks that they're willing to put him on the trade market. Here we go. I got y'all. See? I got y'all. Hold on. There we go. All right, so let me add this screen so I can show y'all what the hell I'm seeing. There it goes. I don't want this newsletter. Get out of my face. All right. There you go. Okay. Let's do this. No, let's do this. Take me off. Take the comment off. All right. So this is from Bleacher Report. It says rumors Jeremy Grant expected to be shopped by Blazers after Damian Lillard trade. It says the Portland Trail Blazers may already be looking to move on from Jeremy Grant. They signed him to a 5-year, $160 million contract. Signing Grant to such an exorbitant. I I think it's, I don't know how to say that word, apparently. Let's, exorbitant deal. Did not make much sense at the time. There was already palpable rumblings about Damian Lillard wanting out of Portland, and he confirmed his desire for an exit within 24 hours, blah, 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 blah. Dang. While Grant is a quality starter at the 3, he is a non-all-star now signed to a contract averaging $32 million a season through his 34th birthday. The amount of teams that will be interested in trading for Grant will be a few and far between based on the contract alone. It's a virtual uncertainty. The best the Blazers will be able to do is a contract dump of a deal they signed months ago. See, that's where Tim Hardaway and Kleber would work because Tim Hardaway has 1 year left and Maxey has 2 years left, I believe. Grant signing was perhaps the single oddest of the offseason, and it doesn't look any better as the Blazers embark on a rebuild. Portland, for the time being, will be a better team than expected. Grant, Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, and Anthony Simons is a solid enough core for the Blazers to stay competitive this season, all while likely keeping the value of Holiday and Ayton in particular ripe for trade talks. That said, there are simply not many positives to find in handing Grant that contract at this point. Yeah, a lot of people said that. A lot of people felt that. A lot of people said that whenever he did sign that deal. I was wondering if they were going to pull it back whenever Damian Lillard asked for that trade out. So that was pretty interesting. Orange Juice says that they might want it first, but I love that trade. All right, so for that trade, would you do the first? Would you send that first? That's the question. If it's me, bro, to get Grant and get off of Tim Hardaway and Kleber, I'm sending the first. If you tell me, hey, the 2 seconds ain't enough, just give me one first. And give me one first, and I'll send you one of my seconds. Then I'll do that. Rich Case, try Thibault and Murray. I don't want Thibault. They're not going to give us Murray. I want Grant. You feel me? I want Grant, Richard. Nick says they probably resigned him to be a trade asset. Yeah. They probably did. Now when you look at it, they probably did. RC, I'm with you on that, TGK. Give me Grant or McDaniels from the Wolves. McDaniels. Let's go back to Fanspo. So I could mess up a trade deal and think I'm some kind of like manager or something, right? Let's pull it back up. We'll do some trades here. There we go. All right. Add that to the screen. We'll try that McDaniels here in a second. Orange Juice says, never mind. Maybe 2 seconds would get him if they're looking to dump his contract. Damn. Yeah, that aspect of it, the looking to dump the contract. I think 2 seconds. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kleber should be enough if no one else is calling. Like if no one else is calling for Grant and we send that deal in. If I'm the Trailblazers, like, man, you know what? F it. Go ahead. He's yours. Richard K says, swaps, yes, without thinking, but a first outright, it would have to be a deal. Because next year, if we don't use, we will have full complement of picks for whoever comes available. I believe that's the way. All right. So say you get Grant right now. Where am I at? I ain't even showing my face over here. Say you get Grant right now. Does that add him to the current team? Does that make us a better team and a title contending team? You will look at a lineup like Kyrie, Luka, Grant, Williams, and say Lively. That's a nasty lineup, bro. That's a nasty lineup. Oh my God, what a nasty lineup. Think of that. A Kyrie Irving, Luka, Jeremy Grant, Grant Williams, and a Derek Lively starting 5. And then the backups would be Jaden Hardy, Curry, Exum, Green or Exum, Omax, Holmes, or Powell. Wow. Bro, I love that team. I ain't gonna lie. I do love that team. Richard K says, I'm with you on the forward, but McDaniels and Miller and Minot and Nas, big trade, dream trade. Keep a second for Denny. Yeah, Denny would be nice too. But I think if you get Grant, Denny, you kind of have to move on from Denny, you know? Orange Juice, our defense would be amazing with Grant. Then he can score and shoot threes too. He can also go get his own bucket. That's another layer to Jeremy Grant's game. All right, let's go look for let's try this trade. I'm interested to see what this trade would look like. McDaniels. I'm not too aware of his game that much. He's a 6'9" power forward, 22 years old. Oh, he's young. You think they're gonna get rid of a young asset for 3.9 mil? 3.9 mil? Bro, if it's 3.9 mil, who we trading? Josh Green? Are we trading Josh Green? Because you got to make the money match, right? So it had to be Green straight up. But do we need a Jaden McDaniels right now over a Green? I think it'll work. All right, let's try it. Yeah, it'll work. That would work. They're both on their last year, so they're about to re-up, you know, on their contract. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think, you know, trading away Green for McDaniels or Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kleba for Grant? I would want to trade away Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kleba for Grant because you keep Green and you also add a player that does the same things Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kleba does, but in one position. And I think you help your team a lot more that way. But I ain't gonna lie, the Josh Green to McDaniels, that would be a way to go about it. I just haven't seen much of his game. Maybe I could pull some highlights up. Hold on, we could do that. We could pull some. You see, I'm open to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to see. I might be not aware of Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels. Let's get this.
Any secrets
Oh
in this
crap!
league, you know? So for him to stand up there,
Let's go ahead and get this copyright on this stream. All right, let's see some Jaden McDaniels highlights. All right, a slasher. You can get up with one hand and jam it. All right, that's athleticism right there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Sexton. Oh, he's Jaden McDaniels. So get that out of here. Okay, that was good defense. That was really nice defense. All right, some more defensive highlights. Man, get that out of here. Yeah, he's nice, bro. Ugh. Kick it out to McDaniels. Give it to McDaniels. Okay. All right, so far I've seen dunks and blocks. Can he shoot? Can he do anything else? McDaniels shooting a three? Okay. Okay, so he can shoot. Or he can shoot. Oh. That was nice. That was nice. Let's see what else. Oh, little alley. Okay. All right. I'm impressed. We'll watch a couple more highlights. Oh! Hey, he dropped Mo Bamba. Give it back to McDaniels. Oh, fake the pass. Oh, Euro. That was damn near a charge, but it worked. Give it to McDaniels. Oh! That was nice give and go. That was nice. He's a right-handed dunker, like heavily. All right, one more. Okay. A little spin move with some finesse at the rim. Look at that little spin move. Little finesse. He just got to develop. If he could develop a little lefty finish, that would be nice too. But he nice, man. He nice. Now, over Josh Green, what do y'all think? Over Josh Green. Josh Green and McDaniel straight up. I don't think the Timberwolves would do it. Because that he's a talent, bro. He's a talent for sure. He is a talent. RC says the Wolves have a lot of money tied up with Gobert, Cat, and soon to be paid Amen. Just a suggestion on McDaniels. Yeah, he'd be nice to get, bro. I ain't gonna lie. McDaniels is as last year on his deal, he is 6'11". Now that's why you need the big all three. Trust me. Add Miller and Nas for Timmy and Maxi. It works. I've done the numbers. Okay, let's go back to that then. Can we go back to Fanspo? There we go. All right, so you want to do a big time trade. That's what you want to do. A big time trade. Let's do a big time trade then, man. I ain't scared. Big time trade. So you're saying, so we got us and we got Timberwolves. All right. So you got Tim Hardaway, Maxi, if I remember correctly. And let's say Green for Nas Reed, 12 mil. What else? McDaniels, 4 mil. Who else you said, Richard? Who else? You said Nas, Jimmy, Miller. All right, so where's Miller at? Miller. Leonard Miller. Oh, I think yeah. All right, so maybe we're sending them too much money. Yeah, we're sending 33 and they're receiving 18. So Timmy and Maxi, where's I've done the numbers. So we just take off Green. So we'll take off Josh Green. Say we send them picks. I don't think that gets done, does it? No. Where am I off? We're off by 10 mil. We're definitely off by 10 mil. We're sending too much. Who else? Ford, Trey, and Minot, Nas. I might be off. My bad, Richard, if I'm off. Thanks. Oh, Minot. How do you? Let's see. Let's go add Minot. Wait, Greg Monroe is on the Timberwolves? Ain't no way, bro. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna send us all that talent, bro. Yeah, that deal. I don't think that deal will work. We still sending too much money. Kyle Anderson. That's what I'm saying. Like, we keep adding more players. We don't have enough roster spots. Where's Kyle Anderson at? I think that would get it done. You probably have to remove Minot, Miller. This deal will probably get it done. Yeah, let's try it. All right, so let's go back and let's add one of the dudes. Let's say they'll give us. They won't give us Jordan McDaniel. They got Austin Rivers over there too. Jeez. All right, let's say we get this 38-year-old Aaron. Bro, Aaron Brooks is over there. All right, just for ish and giggles, let's just do it. All right, that should work. It's within that range, but that's hilarious. I get what you're doing there, but even with that deal possibly done, I still want Jeremy Grant for Tim Hardaway Jr. and Maxi Kleber. But I get what you was doing. I see Richard Case always coming through. Minnesota has no money to pay and can't trade Cat. That's how you get them. That's a 2 first trade though. They just signed Teed. Why would they be willing to give him up already? Yeah, that's a good point. I think they're hedging on one of their centers being traded this upcoming season. I have a feeling either Gobert or Cat is going to be traded 100%. They got to. So I see them trading one of them, and so they're hedging on that happening. So if that happens and they keep Nas Reed, then they keep a center. You know what I'm saying? But they definitely need to figure that out. They probably want to trade Cat and bring in another shooting guard, point guard. I just don't know what team is going to give you those kind of players to fill in that role that they would want, because that's kind of what they need, bro. They don't need more centers. They got enough. Well, they need to give us one of the centers. That's what they need to do. They need to give us one of those, man. All right, man. So I think I've gotten through my entire itinerary or my list for the show today. So here was the list, right? Jeremy Grant, training camp clips. Oh, we ain't gone through no training camp clips. Let me see. Should we review training camp clips? Checking. All right, let's see if there's any clips that the Dallas Mavericks posted. And if there's any, we'll review some. If not, we'll call it a night, guys. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Dallas Mavericks. There we go. Let's present it. And bang. There we go. I like this beat. I think this beat is very soothing. It feels like a talker's beat. You know what I'm saying? Cat's contract. Yeah, it's a big oof. Big time. Big oof, bro. All right, here is the Mavericks. Oh, I ain't following my own thing. They go media, showing old photos of players. I don't care to see none of that. Okay, so this is from today. Let's see what we're working with here. All right, Tim Hardaway just shooting. Looking like me out there. Wide open shots. Butter. He done. He done for the day. Now he about to go get work done. Recovery. Rest and recovery. Probably gonna put on the what are those boots? What are the boots? The recovery boots. The pressure ones. All right, so that was that. What else? Let's get out of this. I don't think they posted much today. Okay. Here's this. Oh, he's about to go get recovery too. So he did a little side step to the right, which is really hard to do. And to make a shot like that is really hard to make. When you're a right-handed shooter and you side step into the right, yeah, that's nice. Squaring those shoulders, releasing it. All right. I think they look like a light day today. That's what it looks like. It looks like they didn't do anything extravagant. Let's see. Oh, it's Derek Lively here doing a reverse dunk. Okay. Yeah, I see you. Look at it. Reverse dunk here. All right. Bro, he's athletic as hell. Why he pointing at us and laugh at us? All right. What the hell is this? Oh, that's ChatGPT cheesy. Oh, yeah, I saw Luka Modric calling out Luka Doncic. He got a little shot. Okay. Nah, this is not what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what else. Yeah, that was it. They didn't. It looked like they didn't run any games today. It looked like they just did more single work type of deal. Single work. All right, man. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. I appreciate y'all being here. It's been your boy TGK. Definitely leave a like on the video. I believe the first pregame show. Oh, let me see. Let me post. Let me show this. I want to show y'all something right quick. We're almost out of here, man. Dallas Mavericks schedule. There we go. So the first preseason game is next Thursday at October 5th at 11 a.m. and then Saturday at 11 a.m. I will be available for those 2 days to do the pregame shows. So if I don't do anything else until then, just know I will be here doing the pregame shows for these games. And then we got October 20th and then the real season. Wait, where's the Real Madrid game? The Real Madrid game is like October 10th. So yeah, man. October 5th will be the next time. At the very minimum, you'll see me again doing some kind of show. If not, I'll do something prior to then if there's more information that comes out and stuff like that. Nick says, good show, TGK. Appreciate that, man. I try to make everyone good. Every show good. As good as possible. Rich K's great show. Was fun. Thank you, Richard. As always, guys. Nick says, gonna be an interesting season. I can't wait. Y'all go, if y'all ain't on Twitter, y'all let Rel know that I sent them the link to hop on. And he said he would have came on. He was interested in hopping on tonight. So yeah, y'all go give him some crap for not jumping on. I don't want to start a pod, man. I sent them some messages like, bro, you coming? Hop on. Guys, I wanted to review the interviews with him. RC says, good job, TGK. Thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, I feel like I got a little bit of time to go back and look at Jason Kidd's interview, but do we want to? Do we want to see cookie cutter answers? Is that what we want? I don't think so. Anyway, man. Being your boy TGK, definitely leave a like on the video on the way out, man. Appreciate y'all so much. This has been fun. I enjoy doing these things, and obviously when the season comes around, we'll be ramping this up a lot more, man. Anyway, being your boy TGK. Oh, I got one more comment before I dip out. Did you send the link I sent you? Did you see the link I sent you? Where you send it at, Richard? Where you send it? Let me know where you sent it, Rich. Was it on Twitter? Was it on Instagram? Oh, it's on last week's show. It's a good read. Okay. I'll double back. I'll double back and check all that good stuff, man. Appreciate all the comments, all the engagement, man. Goes a long way. It does mean a lot to me. So appreciate it, man. It's been your boy TGK. Get hyped for the Mavs season, man. It's gonna be a good one. Keep your patience. We're gonna have ups and downs with the rookies, but don't get discouraged, man. It's been your boy TGK, and we out.